Hi, I'm Amy from Select Travel Holidays, home of Cruise Select, and in this presentation we're going to focus exclusively on one of my very favourite rivers, the mighty Mekong. We'll be looking at what is special about the Mekong, what you can expect on a Mekong river cruise and its highlights, and how it's one of the best ways to explore Vietnam and Cambodia. We'll be joined by AmaWaterways, Avalon, Emerald Waterways and Pandaw, all of whom offer Mekong cruises as they explain what's different about the way they cruise the Mekong and taking a look at some of their ships and their itineraries. If you've ever cruised on a European river, you'll notice that these Mekong ships are quite a bit different, but you can still expect to find a luxury, comfort and style on board your floating hotel. River cruising is continuing to gain in popularity, increasing by over 10% of passengers from the UK and Ireland between 2017 and 2018, the latest figures we have to hand. Although European river cruising remains the most popular, accounting for 89% of all river cruises taken by Brits in 2018, Asia is also increasingly popular, especially the Mekong, which grew by 23% between 2017 and 2018 and accounts for 1 in 4 non-European river cruises taken by Brits. The Mekong River itself is the longest in Southeast Asia and the 7th longest on the whole of the Asian continent. Although it is mostly associated with Vietnam and Cambodia, its source can be found on the Tibetan Plateau in China, from where it winds its way some 3,000 miles through Burma, Laos and Thailand, before entering Cambodia and finally Vietnam. There are 2 routes you can cruise the Mekong. The lower Mekong, which explores Vietnam and Cambodia and is the most popular and better known route. No lower Mekong river cruise would be complete without a stay in the vibrant, cosmopolitan and chaotic Ho Chi Minh City and a visit to the iconic Angkor Wat. The other choice is the more adventurous, off-the-beaten-track upper Mekong, where northern Thailand converges with Burma and Laos, and it's characterised by lush jungle, mountains shrouded by mist, hill tribes and rice paddies, and the alluring cultural treasure troves of Luang Prabang and Vientiane in Laos. The Mekong isn't the easiest river in the world to navigate, thanks to extreme seasonal variations in its flow and the presence of rapids and waterfalls, but it's nonetheless a major trade route between Western China and Southeast Asia, and indeed a popular river cruise. It's the beating heart and lifeblood of Indochina, and for thousands of years communities have settled by its rich banks and adapted to life on the river, often with floating villages or homes built on stilts, given how high the water can go in rainy or high water season. The Mekong River is very fertile and is the rice bowl of Asia, but it's also the world's largest inland fishery, accounting for up to 25% of the global freshwater catch and providing livelihoods for at least 60 million people. Watching life on its banks is never boring.
Because, like many rivers, the Mekong is so important to its local communities. A Mekong river cruise gives you the opportunity to witness an authentic slice of life in rural Indochina. It's not all large cities. Instead, you'll discover the communities of the Mekong Delta. The best way to access many of these remote, off-the-beaten-track villages is on the river, making a Mekong river cruise one of the best ways to explore Vietnam and Cambodia, or Laos and Thailand if you're going on the upper Mekong. There are many reasons why people love to travel, and many different things they might want to experience while on holiday. And if you look for adventure, and particularly for culture, and you're keen to discover new destinations which show a very different way of life than ours, then visiting Asia is a must-do, and an Asian river cruise is one of the best, safest and most comfortable ways to discover the various countries.
Every river offers something a little bit different. Even in European river cruising, each river has something unique to offer. And unlike many European rivers, particularly the Danube, the Mekong doesn't have many big cities, with the exceptions of Phnom Penh, the Cambodian capital, which sits at the confluence of the Mekong and Tonle Sap rivers, and Ho Chi Minh City on the Vietnamese side, which is usually where Mekong river cruise will begin or end. Usually with coach transfer to or from the ship, because only the smallest river ships can actually traverse as far as Ho Chi Minh, as we'll see with some of our cruise line presentations. So as you can see, a Mekong river cruise really is an off the beaten track rural affair, but that to me really adds to its charms. On the other hand, the cities you do get to experience, Phnom Penh and Ho Chi Minh City, are two incredible cities. My first trip to Asia started in Ho Chi Minh, and I was completely dazzled by the youthful, vibrant atmosphere and the electric atmosphere, and its fast pace. I don't think you really, all the motorbikes. And Phnom Penh is perhaps slightly less chaotic, but only just. But Phnom Penh itself is a must-see. It has quite a balmy feel by the beautiful riverside promenade, from where on your ship you'll usually be able to see the golden gold royal palace, which is quite stunning. And Phnom Penh has something of the feel of a phoenix about it. It's so full of life now. It's almost impossible to believe that over 40 years ago it was completely abandoned during the Khmer Rouge. Your local Cambodian tour guides will almost certainly have personal stories to tell of that terrible time during the Khmer Rouge, which will be heartbreaking and humbling to hear. And most river cruises will offer you the options to go visit the killing fields and or Tuol Sleng, the Genocide Museum. If you do choose to go, and I do personally recommend that you do, they will be hard-hitting and sombre and poignant, but I personally believe it is important to go on such visits. It gives you, I think it helps you understand and appreciate the history in the country, and my God, it really makes the Cambodians' warm, friendly spirits all the more remarkable. So what else can you expect to experience on a Mekong river cruise? Well, alongside Ho Chi Minh City and Phnom Penh, I've already mentioned that it's very rural, and so you'll get to see some amazing villages. You'll be in the Mekong Delta, and you'll get to meet local people and learn about the skills, the crafts, the artisanal crafts that they do, from silk weaving,
pottery and rattan making,
etc. And you'll get to see a bit about their lives and how they've adapted to living on the banks of the Mekong. As I've already mentioned, it does have, the banks can get exceptionally high during the rainy season, and also you'll also see a bit about, particularly on the Cambodian side, you'll discover a bit of a Buddhist lifestyle. Visit some temples, some beautifully colourful temples, which are very colourful, very beautiful. They're such a treat. You'll try local transportation, from an ox cart to a cyclo. I always recommend the alternative methods of transportation. Live life like a local, travel like a local, and get to see the local scenery like a local. Certainly quite a laugh doing it, zipping along and waving at people. So yes, Mekong River Cruise is definitely a great source of an authentic insight into the Mekong Delta. And it's it could also be combined with some of, particularly Vietnam, some of Vietnam's larger cities. So some of the river cruise itineraries will combine a mixture of land with the Mekong cruise, both on the Vietnamese and the Cambodian side. So typically, as I said earlier, no lower Mekong cruise would be complete without a visit to Angkor Wat and the other Angkorian temples up in Siem Reap. So you'd almost certainly get an extension to Siem Reap. But personally, I would definitely also recommend seeing as much of Vietnam as you can. The last time I did the Mekong, my mum and I, we started up north. We flew to Hanoi, which is a direct flight. And then from Hanoi, obviously you've got Halong Bay, which is just an hour or so away from Hanoi, and some of our river cruise partners do actually offer the chance for an overnight junk boat cruise on Halong Bay.
So Halong Bay is one of Vietnam's most popular attractions or destinations to visit. Although Hanoi itself is nothing to sniff at, it's great actually just watching some of the locals do their Tai Chi, their martial arts, or their dancing on some of the plazas across the city. Definitely you want to try some of the Vietnamese iced coffee, and which I think, if I recall, was called Cafe Sadek. Do recommend that, and also try some banh mi when you're in Hanoi, particularly by the market. That would be by the bustling Dong Xuan market. I think that's how you pronounce it. Must admit my Vietnamese isn't quite up to scratch. And of course, Hanoi is also famous for the ancient 1,000-year-old Temple of Literature. That's incredibly important to the Vietnamese, and it features on one of their monetary notes. And of course, Hanoi is probably also more famous for the infamous Hanoi Hilton. So that's a look at its more recent notorious past, but still important to acknowledge nonetheless. So Hanoi is definitely worth a visit. So if you've got the time and want to sort of extend your river cruise, you could perhaps look at one of the itineraries that does offer that pre or post cruise extension, which begins or ends in Hanoi. Certainly the flight links are handy. And of course, if you want to see more of Vietnam, some might include Hue, but I would definitely advise going to Hoi An, which is a bit more like the sort of central Vietnam, as you sort of make your way down from the north with Hanoi, down the coastline, and then from Hoi An, it's a further trip south to Ho Chi Minh, where you can pick up your Mekong River cruise. So if you do want to sort of extend your time over there, definitely look for some of those itineraries which offer that sort of blend of land and river cruise experience, because you'll have it organised seamlessly for you, and get to meet some of your fellow guests as well, and enjoy some more time and some of the beautiful culture and food, I'd say, in Vietnam. And so that's my little top tip there. And as you can see, by doing that sort of extension, you do get to see a bit more of the cities, which means that your Mekong River cruise really is a nice sort of foray into the authentic rural Vietnam and Cambodia, and gives you a slightly different flavour. It gives you a bit of contrast, which I know Asia is very often famous for.
You can cruise the Mekong more or less year-round, although you might want to consider when exactly would be best for you, because of course we're looking at Southeast Asia. which has a lot more tropical sort of climate than you'd get in Central Europe. So while temperatures rarely drop below 30 degrees throughout the year, they are slightly cooler in the dry season, which is from November to April, and it's also at this time when it's also less humid and there are fewer mozzies, which are some things you might want to consider when travelling to Southeast Asia. However, the wet season between May and October offers lush green vegetation, and the rain in Southeast Asia is a spectacle in itself, usually short, sharp bursts of rain lasting under an hour, although of course we can never really guarantee the weather, I'm afraid. So the higher water levels during wet season can actually be an advantage, because your ship will most likely be able to sail the whole route of your cruise, as sometimes in the dry season water levels can drop to a point that makes it inaccessible for the ship to continue to certain parts, so sometimes there might have to be coach transfers. That being said, this is potentially less of an issue if you are not cruising all the way to Siem Reap via the Tonle Sap, which is a particularly problematic stretch there. And our team will of course be able to advise you of all itineraries and anything you might want to consider. So hopefully that's given you a taste of why you should cruise the Mekong. Now let's have a look at who you can cruise the Mekong with, as we're joined by some of the river cruise lines that cruise this mighty river to tell you more about what you can expect on their Mekong cruises. Now some of these you'll recognise from the European river cruise presentation, as they've also offer Mekong as well. So first we have Avalon Waterways, who have two intimate deluxe boutique ships, the Avalon Saigon and the Avalon Siem Reap, which take you through Vietnam and Cambodia. As you'll see, these ships are different to their European river ships. However, you'll still enjoy the exceptional level of service and comfort on board. You just get to experience it on the Mekong instead.
Sail in the Mekong with Avalon Waterways. Leading the way in luxury expeditions on the Mekong, Avalon Waterways has two beautiful boutique ships carrying just 36 passengers for a more exclusive experience. Due to the size of the Avalon Siem Reap and the Avalon Saigon, these are the only two river ships to sail all the way from Ho Chi Minh City to Phnom Penh, eliminating hours of coach travel between destinations. These ships have been perfectly crafted to offer all the modern features you would expect, yet they retain the colonial charm fitting to Vietnam and Cambodia. Live the sweet life with Avalon Waterways. Welcome to our incredible panorama suites, designed for relaxed luxury with your comfort in mind. Our custom-built boutique ships have just 18 staterooms, with an expansive 245 square feet of living space and a massive wall-to-wall, floor-to-ceiling window measuring 14 feet across. The window opens a full 9 feet, creating River Cruise's only open-air balcony. Even the beds face the window, ensuring you never miss a moment cruising past the daily scenes of life on the Mekong River. In addition, every room has comfort collection beds, a choice of pillows, king or twin configuration options, nightly turn-down service, underbed storage and alarm clock, minibar, in-room safe and individual climate control. Whilst the number of guests on board may be small, our ships are not. Built as long and as wide as other ships that carry twice as many passengers, our public spaces never feel congested. From the panorama lounge to the open-air observation lounge, there is plenty of seating area and spots to relax. We offer a 5-star service. Our approach is never stuffy, but creates an atmosphere of relaxed luxury. We pride ourselves in a refined but unpretentious atmosphere, just high-quality service in an environment designed to help you relax. Our most popular itinerary, fascinating Vietnam, Cambodia and the Mekong, combines an 8-day Mekong discovery with 2 nights in Siem Reap and 3 nights in Ho Chi Minh City. This itinerary will immerse you in the cultures and ancient traditions as you spend time with the locals in the most fascinating parts along the Mekong River. Start your adventure in the bustling city of Ho Chi Minh, see the famous landmarks and try your hand in the kitchen. Vietnamese style with a cooking class. Go back in time with an excursion to the Ho Chi Minh tunnels. Next, board your river cruise ship in Ho Chi Minh for an unforgettable cruise along the Mekong. Immerse yourself in local cultures with a variety of excursions and sightseeing opportunities. In the capital of Cambodia, Phnom Penh, tour the National Museum and Royal Palace, go on an oxo cart ride amongst the rice paddy fields and witness the daily lives of farmers. Finally, in Siem Reap, visit a variety of temples, including the ancient temples of Angkor. Incredible value for money included as standard in your cruise fare are return UK flights and overseas transfers, panorama suites as standard, onboard meals including a daily 4-course a la carte dinner, complimentary drinks with meals including wine, local beers, spirits and soft drinks, complimentary tea, coffees, soft drinks, local beers and spirits throughout the day, included daily excursions and sightseeing trips, gratuities for cruise director and crew, free Wi-Fi in the lounge area, local port charges and airport taxes. We include more as standard, leaving you free to worry less about onboard costs and concentrate on why you're really there. Now to be serious for a moment, with the ever-changing times, Avalon Assurance is our 6-point plan for keeping you safe on board. And river cruising is considered one of the most safest ways to travel. Consider you with the same group, adhering to health checks throughout the trip. You travel through countries in the same room, so there's a lot less contact and change in between destinations. The staterooms are designed to circulate fresh air in and not circulate between cabins. Fresh air is also circulated in communal areas. You dine in the same venue, which are adhering to increased and constant strict cleaning protocols. And you skip the line at sites to make it easier and safer. Remember too, whilst river cruising, you're only ever a few feet away from shore and medical assistance if needed. So, in summary, here's what's to remember about Avalon Waterways. We offer 5-star, relaxed luxury cruises. We have 2 boutique-style ships, carrying a maximum of 36 guests. Our beds face the incredible, ever-changing view outside, included daily sightseeing and selected drinks. We also include gratuities for your cruise director and crew. Our peace of mind guarantee means you can change your holiday to a different holiday, destination or brand in our portfolio, a different date in 2021, 2022 or 2023. No questions asked. We will waive all land or cruise penalties. We are also fully ABDA and ATOL protected, so if your holiday is cancelled for any reason, you will receive a full refund.
Allow me to introduce Emerald Waterways. We met their sister brand Scenic on Europe's rivers, but Emerald Waterways launched their first ever starship outside of Europe, the Emerald Harmony, in 2019. So Joseph will tell us what you can expect on a Mekong river cruise with Emerald Waterways, and he'll show us this stunning river ship, which is strikingly different from the other river ships on the Mekong with its beautiful modern feel. So let's take a look at what Emerald Waterways have to offer on the Mekong.
Hello and welcome to my presentation on river cruising on the Mekong. Okay, so Emerald Waterways, Cambodia, Vietnam and Mekong river cruising. I've got 10 minutes, so I'm going to get through quite a lot. I'm Joseph Grimley, Director of Sales UK for the Scenic Group. And Emerald Waterways, if you've not heard of this before, we are a baby sister to Scenic. That's our parent company. We're now a global business. Emerald Waterways was formed in 2013, launching 2 ships on the waterways of Europe. We've since expanded our fleet to become an award-winning company. Back in 2019, just last year, in fact, we launched our first Starship. That's our own designed ship on the Mekong. So why cruise on the Mekong? Why take a river cruise? So basically you unpack once, but you get to see somewhere new every day. You don't have to spend hours on a coach traveling from one point to another to get to another hotel. We're covering quite a large region, and the best way of doing that is simply to take your hotel with you. And on a river cruise, it floats, so that's cool. So you cruise through some beautiful, ever-changing scenery. There's always something to see. You cruise through and you dock in the heart of every city, every town and every village. Cruising with us, as I said, we have a brand new ship, the Emerald Harmony. It's very intimate, it's very spacious, and you'll see some pictures of it later. It's state of the art. We include the excursions, which is great. There's fantastic local cuisine on board. We have very, very comfortable and spacious public rooms, staterooms and suites, and we include everything you need in the price. And it's safe. You're traveling as part of a group with your local guides, with your Emerald Waterways staff. It's a great way of seeing a region like Vietnam, Cambodia along the Mekong. So our brochure's out for 2021-22. Pick up your copy from Cruise Select. And here are the itineraries. So not got time to go through them in detail, but I'll give you a flavour of what we do. So all of our Southeast Asia itineraries are a combination of time spent on board your river cruise ship with a little bit of land stay as well. So you can do a 15-day majestic Mekong where you stay for a couple of nights in Siem Reap, you stay in Ho Chi Minh City, and you spend 7 nights cruising on the mighty Mekong. Or you've got a 19-day option or a 23-day option too. And these are some of the sites you'll see. Well, you've probably all heard of Angkor Wat in Cambodia. We go there on this cruise, but we also take in a lesser known temple at Angkor Thom. We go and see the classic iconic Cu Chi tunnels made famous during the Vietnam War. We visit local markets, silk farms, and take you to the killing fields in Cambodia, a very poignant place. The Royal Palace at Phnom Penh. Let's call the whole thing off. We take you on boat trips, and there's a little bit of a flavour of Mekong life in Vietnam. You see the local people, you see the local towns, you get up close and personal with them, and you get under the skin of the destination. The sounds, the sights, the smells, it's a real amazing experience. And taking you on that journey is the Emerald Harmony. It's a very unique ship for the Mekong. A lot of ships on the Mekong look like old Chinese junks and they're a little bit dated, they're a bit colonial, quite dark. This is bang up to date. It's a contemporary ship. It's built to European standards, so that's really, really important. And it's one of the only ships that it's been built specifically to get under the bridges, so it cruises right into the heart of Ho Chi Minh City. As soon as you step on board, you feel like you're in a 5-star boutique luxury hotel. You have the main Reflections restaurant, as I said, serves amazing cuisine. The buffet there, you can come and help yourself to some regional flavors and international cuisine as well. The Horizon Bar and Lounge, great place to congregate. Have a chat about what you've been doing, places that you've seen during the day with your fellow newfound friend cruisers. And the Lotus Lounge is another alternative as well to kick back, have a drink, have a cocktail and relax and have a chat. Swimming pool deck is great on Emerald Harmony. It's a really lovely space to spend a bit of time while you're drifting along the river and of course cool off in the pool. And for even more relaxation, have a massage in the wellness center, have a haircut, a beard trim, something like that. So your actual bedrooms where you will be sleeping, the entry level stateroom, as you can see, it has windows so you can see outside. It's not an inside cabin and it's very spacious. The panorama suite gives you a little bit more room to spread out, and you've also got the French balcony system where the window, press the button, slides down, fresh air comes in, and then if you want to press the button again, slides up, and you don't waste that space there. You can still utilize all of that while having your own balcony area. Emerald Harmony Grand Balcony Suite, again a little bit more space and a separate living area as well. And you can also go for the 1-bedroom owner's suite, which has a fantastic deck area complete with its own jacuzzi tub. Wow. So we include so much: return flights, airport transfers to and from your ship, stylish accommodation, all onboard meals, complimentary drinks with your lunch and your dinner, bottled water restocked daily, an excursion almost every day. The crew speak English. We have knowledgeable local guides who really get you under the skin of the destinations, tell you all about the history, art, culture, etc. Complimentary Wi-Fi on board, more and more important these days. And you can earn your Emerald Explorer loyalty points for every cruise you take with Emerald Waterways, giving you some exclusive benefits. All airport taxes and port charges, and we're fully protected by ABTA and ATOL. And you don't have to tip, that's all taken care of. Gratuities are completely complimentary. So our current offers, so at the moment you can save up to £750 per person, but that's not all. We're giving you unlimited free onboard drinks. So we normally include them with lunch and dinner. We'll give you the free premium drinks package upgrade at the moment, so you can have drinks whenever you want during your cruise. And there's not only that. If you book before the end of November, you will receive an additional £100 per person discount. And if you want even more discount, then all you need to do is pay for your cruise in full by the 15th of December 2020, and you'll save a further £200 per person. Have a look at our other products in our Emerald Cruises range, including Russian Waterways, European River Cruises, and our Emerald Azura brand new yacht cruises. And for more information, contact the wonderful people at Cruise Select, and they can check availability, price up your Mekong River cruise for you, and take care of your booking from start to finish. Thank you very much for tuning in.
And now we have something a little different. Unlike the other cruise lines featuring in our Mekong presentation, Pandaw only cruise in Asia, not Europe. So they are true Asia River Cruise specialists and pioneers. Pandaw also offer the Upper Mekong as well as other Asian rivers, as Lucy will explain. So let's have a look at Pandaw and what they have to offer.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Lucy Hone. I'm here to talk to you about Pandaw, and we're working in association with Cruise Select, who are really knowledgeable on this product too. It is a very, very unique product, and the ships are very different to those other river ships that you will see travelling on the rivers of Asia. And as I run through the presentation, you'll see why they are very different. But this kind of product suits customers who like to really get immersed in the destination, really want to meet the local people, very much people who like photography, wildlife, scenery. You know, they like to explore, probably similar to maybe a Hurtigruten type customer. Anyway, I hope that you enjoy the talk, and we can inspire you to travel in the future years ahead to on a Pandaw ship. So what makes them very unique? These ships in 1865 were the Irrawaddy Flotilla Company. You'll be pleased to know they are newer ships now, but it was set up by Scots merchants in 1865, and by the 1920s they had a huge number of ships on the rivers in Burma, which was then a British colony. And they used to take all the goods up the rivers to the most remotest areas, and the ships themselves at that time were licensed to cover 4,000 passengers. You will be pleased again to know that these ships no longer carry that number of passengers, but built to the same specifications as they were in those days, but very, very much now you've only got between maybe 10 and 48 passengers, so much more space and not so. What they do is, because these ships have a very shallow draft, they do go further up the river to the more remote villages, and that's why I say you really get into the heart of Asia and get to see the local people. Very sustainable. It's all local crew. They are English spoken. The ships are all built in Laos. They are beautifully handcrafted in this teak wood that you see, and brass. Really, really taking you back to those olden days. It's actually owned by a gentleman called Paul Strachan now, and he saw one of the old ships in the river, just sort of abandoned really, just in the mud, and looked at it and thought these look really nice ships. So he started in 1990, he created his first ship in exactly the same way as they were built in 1865. Now there are 17 ships, but they have a shallow draft, which means they get further up the river. They can take you to areas that the other ships can't go. But they are unique, is because they, it is all about the wildlife, the scenery. There are different itineraries you can sort of sail on in Burma, the Mekong, Vietnam, but it is all about taking you along the river and meeting the local people. And like I say, going to remote areas, they use all the local forms of transport, again, very much to ensure that those local people are kept in jobs. It's very much about the culture and the history. Travel, the customers, you'll find a lot of the customers have sailed with Pandaw before. They have a huge repeat customer database. 45% of customers has sailed on a Pandaw before because they like the, the sort of being close to the local people. They like the cultural experience. It's also a very good product for single travellers because a huge amount of the sailings have no single supplement. Also, during school holidays, they offer family-friendly sailings where the children under 18 will travel free with 2 adults. So again, if you wanted to, you could take grandparents and grandchildren. It's something that everybody can enjoy together. Itineraries, as I said, they do Burma. You do the Irrawaddy and the Chindwind. They have the Brahmaputra in India. They do Mekong. They do the. You can sail from Laos up to China. They started that quite a few years ago, but they really cover the Asia rivers, and one that's been very popular for next year has been Halong Bay and Red River, and that is because you're on the same ship in Halong Bay, but then you go to along the Red River and go really out to some of those the farming areas, and you get to see sort of how they live, how they grow. You actually get to have a lunch with one of the doctors in one of the villages. So again, all about really immersing you in the destinations. You can see the ships here, they're all pretty much the same sort of format. They're built the same way, very colonial. Like I said before, all finished in the brass and the teak, crafted in Asia. They have that ultra shallow draft that enables them to get further up the river. And they don't have balconies, but the beauty is that you can sit, there's chairs outside your little your stateroom, and you can watch the sun come up, you can watch the sun go down. You can enjoy on the front observation area, the deck. You can enjoy beautiful scenery. There is no sailing by night because they don't allow it. So the beauty is that you get to see absolutely everything in the daytime. Just give you an idea, this is a ship, and these are some of the local people. When you go out on an excursion, they'll come and take you on the local boats. The deck, there's 3 decks. You can see that they do have a little gym, they do have a little spa, but the dining room, the 2 decks, the lower, the middle deck, the main deck where the dining room is, those are the leading cabin prices, and then you get the upper deck where you just pay a little bit more. All the cabins are about the same size, but like with most ships, the higher up the more it is. But just to show you the beautiful traditional wood that they use all over the ship and external. The staterooms, they again all that teak wood. You have your flowers and fruit on arrival, unlimited mineral water. Get these little canister bottles to fill your water up. And just to show you them a little bit. When you're on board, all your food is included and your teas and coffees. There is a fantastic choice of local cuisine. The breakfast is buffet and you get absolutely everything, your juices, your fresh fruits, all the local, your European as well. And then lunch and dinner is served. They do have European alternatives, but I would say that they haven't got the choice as you would normally get on lots of ocean cruise lines. But I think it's probably great to have the local Asian cuisine anyway when you're in that area to get the flavors of the destination. Here you will see the beautiful dining room, again all crafted with that teak wood. The seating is pretty much they'll seat groups of people together, particularly with the COVID now, but it is it used to be free seating wherever you like, but as you can see, you'll still have those wonderful views of the river. There is a bar on deck and one below. Drinks aren't included. Always local entertainment that's coming on board. Again, it's all about keeping those local people employed. Excursions are very much a key part of the Pandaw River experience and are included in the price. You will find a lot of them. You're walking through the countryside, local villages with the guides who are from those areas. Great English speakers, very knowledgeable. They'll tell you all about the flora, the fauna, and how the local people live. When you go out on some of the trips, you'll go on these speedboats and you'll go further into the jungle or up the river to the more rural areas. You'll go to cultural sites and some of these may not be accessible by other river ships because you are going to some that are in those more local rural areas. They have bikes on board. They have also some kayaks on board. So as I said to you next year, the Halong Bay is quite popular. You can either go on one of the boats with one of the local ladies, or you can actually kayak yourselves out to the caves that you can find in Halong Bay. So you can be as active or as relaxed as you like. Passengers do also visit the Pandaw charity, which Paul himself set up when he after 2008. So it's really nice to see that he's giving back to those communities. Touch. This is just a bit more about the charity, but they've built 12 schools and they've built 7 clinics. So and it's an ongoing project which is very close to Paul's heart. I am just going to show you a video to finish off, but if you have any questions or anything you want to check, please call Cruise Select.
Finally, John from AmaWaterways will introduce us to Amadara, their ship on the Mekong, which my mum and I were lucky enough to cruise on a couple of years ago. So we'll be happy to answer any questions and share our personal experiences. However, let's hand it over to John, who show us the AmaWaterways difference on the Mekong, including some of their fabulous pre- and post-cruise land programs.
Well, hi, this is John here over at AmaWaterways, and it's a delight to be able to talk to you today about our wonderful cruise on the Mekong River on board the fabulous Amadara. So what we're going to do, we're going to give you a bit more information about the actual ship itself. We're going to tell you a bit more about the itinerary that we offer on the Mekong, and just a couple of special offers at the end there if you book obviously through Cruise Select. So first and foremost, a bit of information about the Amadara. She is a 124 guest ship. All of the staterooms have twin balcony accommodation. I've got some pictures I'll show you later on. And it is pretty much all inclusive. So what we do include all your drinks during the day. That will be spirits, soft drinks and beers, as well as the evening, and all your wine, soft drinks and beers during lunch and dinner as well. We also include a vast array of shore excursions, and they're all included in the fare for you. And we'll touch on the sort of experiences you're going to experience along the Mekong later on. We were very fortunate actually at AmaWaterways to have the delightful Jane McDonald with us. She sailed on board the Amadara a couple of years ago. You can still see the program on TV. It's still on Channel 5. You can do the catch-up channels and find it. It's also repeated quite considerably during the course of the year. So do look out for it on the Amadara, on the Mekong, cruising with Jane McDonald. She basically produced a fantastic amount of interest in the cruise. So when she was actually on board just after, you know, the phones were flying off the hook. So whenever she's on the ship, she does bring a lot of interest into that particular itinerary. So it was a delight to have her on board. Just to give you an example of the accommodation on board the Amadara, as I mentioned earlier, it's only twin balconies and suites on board. So this is the lowest grade accommodation that you're going to get on board the Amadara. It works perfectly. It's a twin balcony. So on one side, you've got a French balcony. There's a furniture in the alcove, so you can sit inside the accommodation, open the doors, and get all those airs and breezes in, see the beautiful scenery around you. If the weather's lovely and you want to sit outside, then we've also got furniture outside on the other balcony. So you've got outside furniture, you can probably see that. Open the doors and you're sitting outside enjoying the sunshine. The accommodation, the twin balconies, are at least 255 square foot, really good size, plenty of storage space, in-house movie channels, writing desk, beautiful bathrooms as well. And they're done in this very much kind of colonial feel, the Asian wood there you can see. Beautiful styled accommodation. If you do go for a suite, very similar look to this, but obviously they're slightly bigger. They also have hot tubs in the bathrooms and a larger balcony outside. We've also got on the Amadara a wonderful sun deck to enjoy. You've got the bar there, so if you want any drinks outside, you can, but also the pool. What we like to do on our cruising on the Mekong, a lot of the time we have the morning doing excursions and activities, and then during the afternoon for at least 2-3 hours we'll be cruising, so you can actually enjoy the scenery around you and sit out on that sun deck and take it all in. Inside the ship, a little bit different from our European vessels, it's very much an Asian wood feel, as I mentioned with the accommodation as well. Very colonial in its look, but incredibly luxurious. This is a reception area on board. We've also got 2 fantastic dining options for you on board the Amadara. So the main restaurant is open dining. It's a 5-course menu in the evening. We have breakfast and lunch also served in the main restaurant. We also have the chef's table restaurant, which you can see here. This serves a 7-course taster menu with a different wine pairing for each particular course. Does have a subtle Asian theme to it when you're cruising the Mekong, but fabulous food. There's no charge to dine in here, and everybody has the opportunity to dine in at least once. So you make the booking on board the ship, but a fabulous place to spend an evening. Now, as far as the itinerary is concerned, we're very flexible with the Mekong. You can pretty much go for as long as you want. So we have 9-night, 11-night, 12-night, or 15-night packages. So what we'll do now is just go through the general itinerary with you on the 9-night package, and I'll tell you about the add-ons that you can actually do to make it a longer stay. So first and foremost, 9 nights will start you off in the city of Ho Chi Minh City. What we'll do, we actually stay at the Sofitel, Saigon Plaza, pretty much central into the city there. We include for you a city tour. You'll also get to see the duty channels, which we include there for you, and also visit to markets. So there are some excursions included in your 2-night pre-cruise in Ho Chi Minh City. There is a tour manager with you as well, so there's somebody from AmaWaterways to help you, and all those excursions, as I say, are included before you join the ship. You then transfer to the ship, takes about 45 minutes, and then we start the 7-night cruise along the Mekong. Some of the ports of call, we've got Kai Bay, local markets and temples there to enjoy, so all these excursions are included. We include a local boat ride along the river. We include visits to workshops and also a visit to historical Kiet old houses as well. So really fantastic variety of excursions there in Kai Bay. We cruise to Sadek. Sadek, we again include boat rides. There's again a visit to a temple whilst we're there. The next place along the route is Tan Chai, and from here we actually have an opportunity to see a local village, a Vietnamese village, which we'll explore and take in. Really fantastic day out, that one. There's also then the border crossing, so we'll cross between Vietnam and Cambodia on our way to Phnom Penh, the capital. So whilst we're in Phnom Penh, there are a variety of excursions. The reason we give you a lot of choices is, particularly with Phnom Penh, is the fact that one of the excursions is to the killing fields and a genocide museum. So a lot of our guests are either comfortable or not comfortable about going there. So if you want to do the killing fields trip, it's arranged for you. But we also have an additional excursion, which will go to the Royal Palace, the Old Town of Phnom Penh. You'll visit the National Museum and also the market. So there's 2 options there in Phnom Penh, depending on what you're wanting to do. We stay actually in Phnom Penh overnight. So you're there for 2 days. And while we're there, we actually visit a place called Udong. From there, we'll actually give you a Buddhist blessing in a temple. So you'll get to experience that. You'll also experience an ox ride, the local mode of transport, apparently. So that's something else we lay on there for you. And we then go back to Phnom Penh, and we actually do a tuk-tuk ride, tuk-tuk tour on the tuk-tuks, and basically a city tour, but by tuk-tuk. It's a really good fun experience. So that's included as well before we leave Phnom Penh. We then head towards Prek Dam. On the way, we go to a place called Kampong Chan, and from here, we will visit some traditional silk villages. You'll see the local villages there, and also we actually at AmaWaterways in Cambodia, we sponsor a school, so you'll get to visit the local school as well, interact with the children, and experience the real sort of life and rustic life and authentic conditions that you're going to find in Cambodia. So we then end up in Prek Dam, and then we'll travel back to Siem Reap, which is around about a 5-hour journey by coach. So there are stops on the way, obviously, but when we're in Siem Reap, you've got the option of either staying longer or we'll fly you back home to the UK. You want to stay longer. The extensions are 3 further nights in Siem Reap to do Angkor Wat and all the temples and pagodas in that region. And then we'll fly you up to Hanoi for a further extension if you want to stay on, to do 2 nights in Hanoi and 1 night on a junk boat in Halong Bay. So lots of different options there. So you can go for 9 nights, Ho Chi Minh and cruise, 11 or 12 nights, which will be, again, Ho Chi Minh City and the cruise, 2 or 3 nights in Siem Reap, depending which way you want to do it. And then a 3-night extension up in Hanoi and Halong Bay to make it a 15-night land and cruise package. So we are now actually on Mekong. We are on sale now up to April 2023. So a long way ahead there. So all of next year, 2022 and 23 on sale now. We have got a couple of really good special offers. So at the moment, if you do want to book the Mekong, we have got 50% off those land packages for you. So you've got the cruise, And then there's some land packages. So land packages for Ho Chi Minh Stay, Siem Reap and Hanoi. So if you do decide to want to do those extensions, then you have got the opportunity to get 50% off those prices. There's also fly cruise pricing available. So although the flights are out of range now for the majority of, well, all of 22 and 23 and the back end of 21 as well, we can confirm your flight prices now and give you a fly cruise package price. So you will book everything together at the same time. And last but not least, if you do decide you want to go ahead with a Mekong booking or just to inquire and get a quote, then our team there at Cruise Select will be very happy to assist you. Amy, Rachel and the team there. There is also an exclusive offer there, so 150 per couple saving additional to all the other savings that we're offering on that particular cruise if you book by the end of November. So that's about it from me on the Mekong. Hope you've enjoyed the brief presentation there. We look forward to hopefully welcoming you on the AmaWaterways in the near future. Take care. Goodbye.
So as you can see, each of these river cruise lines offer something a little bit different on the Mekong, and Team Select will always be happy to help you find the right one for you. If you are inspired to go on your own Mekong river cruise adventure, you can give us a call on 01234 326 758 or email sales@cruiseselect.co.uk for our expert advice on the Mekong. And once again, I would like to say thank you for joining our presentation on the Mekong and our virtual cruise festival, of course. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've seen that the Mekong is an amazing, incredible river with so much to offer, and I look forward to hearing from you. So once again, thank you.